Facebook, what's up?
What up, what up, what up?
This your boy, Nate Johnson, and the one and only, the Norman Young, straight out of... Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it right.
You know, I got my dog Norm up in here, and we got we got the one and only, stay fashionable, continue to stay on his grind, Andre Pierce. So we're here. This is actually the first kickoff, first episode of the Dad Movement podcast. So we're thankful, all of you who are joining us, tuning in. And this is just going to be kind of an intro week episode. And we just want to kind of give some context for what we'll be moving forward in this new project over the rest of the summer and into the fall. And so we just, we're thankful you guys tuned in. So what's up, fellas? Y'all ready for this?
Wait. Why did he get the fashionable intro? I be first some days, about 2 days out the week. Now, I'm not 7 days like Dre.
Well, that's more what I was alluding to, because if I was talking fashion, we would have been talking to Jason Johnson about that. So we got to make sure we tag him in. So whoever y'all on the tech stuff, make sure y'all tag Jason Johnson.
Smooth operator.
Smooth. Yeah, smooth. Give me a description of Jason Johnson. if you can describe Jason, now listen. Now, if you can describe him, let's just say you took 20 seconds. Somebody was like, "Hey, describe Jason Johnson for us." How would you do that?
He got that.
He got
that
what?
Smooth.
What? Ooh. What?
Berry white.
Berry white. Don't do it like that, baby. What else?
I see the Berry white. Okay.
You can see a little bit of it, huh?
He get to going, get to talking, licking his lips.
Yeah.
Want to give the serious look when he take it. Look. This be Jay right here. He take pictures. Look, y'all watching this? We're going to tag him and we'll put a picture up with him on this Facebook.
Yeah, no, he be fresh.
Look, hit him with the.
That's Nate.
When he
hold
get
his phone
ready
up.
get his picture, do a little selfie. He put that serious look on there.
That's
That's my dog right there. Too smooth, man. All right, let's get to it. Okay, Facebook, Dad Movement. So this is kind of a partnership between us as friends, and having started meeting together and having conversations about being dads here in Muskegon. Started a number of about a year ago. It was July, wasn't it? July last year, correct?
Yeah.
And so we wanted to kind of bring this to another level, because we understood that, you look at a lot of the ills in society, right? The prison population. You talk about homelessness. You talk about suicide rates amongst young people, right? The Achilles heel in all of that comes back to one central theme. It comes back to this fact that fathers are not in the homes.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Right? So we could deal with the majority. I'm going to kick off some stats here for us before we get in. Because it was around this time last year that I had come across some statistics about fatherhood, and I remember when I first read them, I was awestruck with how things were.
Okay.
Listen to these here. Listen to this here. If we looked at the numbers here, in 1950, now listen, Facebook, in 1950, less than 5% of children were born out of wedlock. By 2017, that number rose by 1,700%.
Wow.
Today, more than 51% of all children born in America are born out of wedlock. That means that there are more children being born without a daddy in the home than there are within the home. 90%, I can attest to this in the work that I do, 90% of all prisoners are men. And 75% of them grew up without a dad. 63% of all youth suicide come from fatherless homes. That means that you are 5 times more likely to attempt suicide if you don't have a dad in the home.
Wow.
90% of all homeless and runaway children are from fatherless homes.
Wow.
Listen to how crazy this one is. You're 32 times more likely to run away from home if you don't have a dad. 85% of all children who display behavioral disorders come from fatherless homes. You're 20 times more likely to have a behavior disorder if you don't have a dad in the home.
Yeah.
80% of all rapists come from a fatherless home.
Wow.
A person is 14 times more likely to commit rape if they don't have a dad. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. That is 9 times the average. The vast majority of mass shooters have either come from fatherless homes or they had little to no interaction with their fathers.
I believe that. You know what? I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think fatherhood and, I just think God was very intentional in the process of making a baby.
Yeah.
Of taking that mom and dad, because we all bring something to the table.
Yeah.
That is needed for that child. That's why a lot of times when working with dads, I don't want to go too far off topic, but 90% of being a dad, or I'll say 80, to be fair, is just being there, right?
Yeah.
It's just being that role model of showing your daughter of what a man is, or just showing your son of what a man is. So, I don't say that in a dismissive way that I'm not surprised, but I know the importance of fatherhood, so that relates to those statistics.
Absolutely. And there's such a major role that fathers play in the way that the nucleus family was set up.
Absolutely.
Where it was never designed in any way for a mother or a one-sided parent context to run the family.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. Now, whenever we talk about social issues, nothing is ever 100%. So it's not like, if dad isn't around and mom is there, then automatically the kids are going to prison or they're going to drop out. No, that's not the case.
It doesn't work like that. Right.
That's not the case.
For sure.
But your chances, the likelihood of the children ending up in a negative predicament, a bad situation, hence some of the statistics we just read, if the father is not in the home or it's just a one-parent home, the likelihood of them ending up in a situation that's not good is very high.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree.
I think about it, just with my kids, it's like, oh yeah, y'all jokers would probably be something else if I wasn't around. You know what I mean? Or thinking about when I was a teenager and, I had both parents and my dad went around, some of the stuff, because mom's a little bit more nicer than dad is, a little bit more lenient. You know what I'm saying? I can get away with more things, with mom. So I already know. Man, my mom and dad, they'll probably say I was slick. Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The call of fatherhood, it's so needed. Yeah. It is so needed for dads to be in the home. Like I said, it's not even always about, I think, for so long, we were told that fathers, all we had to do was bring our wallet to the table, and that was all that's needed. But fatherhood is so much more than just the finances, right? Yeah, it's being there, it's showing your children what it takes to be a man. It's, fathers are nurturers too. I think we're naturally nurturers. Even when I talk to moms who are single parents and maybe their father aren't in the picture, I tell them that there is automatically a bond when a dad has a child. There are usually factors that society tells them, or that they see in society that tells them, I shouldn't be there because I can't bring this to the table. But normally every dad wants to be a dad. A lot of times they just feel incapable sometimes, and I'm not making excuses, but it's crippling when you feel like, all right, I'm not working, I can't bring this to the table, or I never had a dad, how am I going to be a dad? Yeah. But it is so needed for all dads to be in the picture. Even me being a fatherhood advocate and running fatherhood programming for the last 6 years, I am still surprised about fathers. I still feel helpless at times about being a father. That's right. I feel like there's no manual that's a one-size-fit-all for fathers. Right. It's not. It's learning along the way, and it's doing things like this. It's collaborating with other fathers who are in your community and who are outside of your community to figure this thing out together. Yeah. It takes more than even a mom and a dad. It truly takes a village of working together to figure out this parenting thing.
That's so true. That being the case, that there's not like a one pet answer or a guiding book that says here's how you can be. Here's a a manual that if you do it this way, you're going to have great children.
Yeah,
we just don't have that, right? So all of us, I say, in this room here are committed fathers, that we're willing to stay involved, to stay committed to raising our children and doing it the way that we believe best in terms of doing it. It comes back to our what an individual's faith, what their standards are, their core values, what the things that they prioritize. Yeah. So when you look at that in that context, what are some of the things that you all would say as we're getting ready to venture off into a number of these different episodes for y'all personally? Yeah. What would you say is these are some guiding principles for us as a family that we adhere to in our families in terms of raising our children?
I like that question.
So you look at some kids, some parents don't believe in discipline. Some parents don't believe in kind of their family standards are we have dinner every night together as a family for the purpose of cultivating healthy relationships amongst siblings, amongst what are some of the guiding rules or principles or things that you guys are committed to? We're committed to having family time. Yeah. So it's like every Friday night we go and do this or that as a family, right? Or it may be I'm very intentional about loving my wife, giving outward expression to her in front of the children so that not only my daughters but my sons see what a healthy relationship looks like. So what are some of the things that you all focus on as dads that you believe are going to be seed planters in the children and helping to raise up history makers?
I would say one of my top things that I try to install in my daughter is relationship with Christ, right? Yeah. Making sure that we're praying together before we go to bed, throughout the day. The importance, usually I start our day off like, hey, have you taken your 10 minutes to talk to Christ today and build your relationship? So that's number one. I always, I talk about self-affirmations, right? I see so commonly that as people, especially in society now, that we live for affirmations from other people, right? So I always talk about the importance of being proud of yourself and not needing the celebrations from other people. So those, I think, are some of the two main things, and along with good character and making sure that you're kind to everyone, no matter what everybody else is doing, being humble, and I think always having a giving heart and loving heart. So those are some of my top things that I try to install in my daughter so that she's ready to go out into the world and make change.
So good. And those are the qualities that you exemplify just in your person.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Absolutely.
So that there's because one guy said, one of the old school cats said, he said, most things are caught, they're not taught.
I like that.
Right? So
like
there's a lot of things 100%. That we're not going to sit and teach our kids.
Absolutely.
They're going to catch our behaviors and how we do things. Exactly. And then they're going to exemplify them. They're going to imitate those
learn
things.
Behavior.
It's learned behavior.
Yeah. Parent how you were parented.
Absolutely. Dre, what would you say some of your, let's just say top two,
top
three?
I think for me is showing my kids how to love on my wife. I think that's huge. Them watching me. Again, I understand, okay, when such and such are around or when the kids are around, it's a certain way. I make sure that I'm close to my wife. I make sure I might put my hand on her. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that when they are around, I might, I don't know, rub her, walk up to her, kiss her on her forehead, that type of stuff, just so they can see the love that they should show as a husband one day and then also as a wife one day. This is the type of treatment that you should be getting from your man of God or your woman of God. So that's huge for me. Marriage, you know, marriage is everything for me. You guys know that. Another thing, huge thing too, is letting my kids hear affirmations from me. Yeah. That's everything. To them, you know, I'm proud of you guys. What you think about this? Also giving them room to express their feelings, their thoughts on certain things is huge as well. But the affirmations are everything. Again, let them know that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you. I love you. Place a certain value on yourself. Know that you're valuable. Know that you're a king. Know that you're a queen in the earth. You know what I'm saying? So just really operating out of that. So I think those two are huge for me.
Yeah,
the affirmation piece, and then again, being the best husband in the world to my wife.
I like that.
That's good.
I like that.
So let's take this. We see that we're in a state of, if you were in the church, you'd call this the conflict of the ages. What's going on in the nation and the country.
Okay.
Would you guys, honest opinion, would you say a lot of the things that are going on today in the country, and we're talking about the chaos on every front.
Okay.
Would you say that this is from a lack of fathers being in the homes who live by standards and principles with the stuff that's going on? Not just police brutality, criminal justice reform. I'm talking about everything. In the country. Because you go back 60 years ago, we're seeing stuff and dealing with things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That
we've never even experienced before.
Absolutely.
You went back, the way people raise children, right?
Absolutely.
That was totally different. Go back to just
Absolutely.
our parents' time. This was we're in a totally different era.
100%.
So where we shifted from then till now in the way that we raise our kids, how do you guys see all this stuff?
I absolutely agree that a lot of it does boil down to fatherhood. I mean, looking at the stats that you said earlier, I mean, there's nothing else to point to. I think for the majority, there's other things that obviously have taken place, but I would say 85% boils down to a lack of fathers in the home. That's the root of the situation. It's not always what you see. It may manifest in other ways, but if you boil it down, I think a lack of fatherhood, of fathers in the house is one of the biggest things.
It's almost safe to say that the stuff that we see going on in our country, we see going on in our cities, that's the fruit.
That's the fruit.
That's the byproduct of not dealing with the root issues of the fathers, right?
That's good.
Because just like what Dre was saying, these affirmations, and like what you had said, affirmations of your children, you're releasing a sense of destiny, a sense of identity.
Yeah, for sure.
In our children.
Identity is huge.
When that voice from the father is missing, and here's what I do. I find myself in a place looking for an idea. I'm supposed to get it from dad. Mm-hmm. If I don't get it from dad, we'll see young girls will run, and Sweet Willie will be the one that gives them their identity.
Absolutely.
Right? Sweet Willie will tell you
everything.
Girl, I'll make you a superstar.
That's it.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
Come here, let me tell you a secret.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
That's it.
So you have the young girls, when they don't get their identity from their fathers, Sweet Willie can step in and play that role now.
And not even young girls. I mean, it goes into adulthood.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it affects everyone.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
So you look at you look at the young boys who, when there's not a sense of community, a sense of family, that tribal sense inside the household with the families. Individuals will run away from the home and run out to
wherever they
the
can
street,
find it.
wherever they can find it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's and internally, the sad thing is kids in their youthful naivety, they don't understand what's happening. It's like, man, I'm looking for a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
So here's what I am doing. I'm not really running out to the streets. I'm running from something as opposed to something. I'm running from what I don't get at home.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's good.
Right?
Yeah,
and so
good.
now I'm running out to. The sad thing is this. I'm being shaped by the opinions of the people that I'm choosing to identify myself with.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Right? So you got individuals selling drugs, gangbanging, hitting the streets, crime, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Here it is. Now I'm coming to a place and I'm allowing these people to be influencers I'm giving them a space in my life to influence me the way that my father should be doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the end game is I could end up in the state prison.
Easily.
Drugs, broke, busted, disgusted, whatever the case may be. The potential, the risk goes very high.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Dre, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think we nailed it. Just I think it's obvious that the lack of fatherhood is the issue. It's one of the issues. It's just important, man. I think about what I could have been if my dad was around. I think about the fear I had, because I had the opportunity and choices to do what I want to do.
Absolutely.
You know, when you're away from home, you know what I mean? But it's the consequences of when I get back home, or if I get caught doing this by my dad.
Stuff gonna get real.
It's gonna get real. You know what I'm saying? so just that fear of getting in trouble, man, it kept me out of a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had a bigger,
How far you can go?
I had a bigger brother who I look up to, I still look up to, who did certain things. You know what I'm saying? And I just watched like he would do it. I see him get in trouble from mom and dad, especially dad.
Yeah, no, I'm straight.
I'm straight. Nope, I'm a pass on that. You know what I mean? So the presence
right there.
the presence of the father is huge. It's a certain fear that comes with that, and it's a healthy fear.
Absolutely.
That's gonna keep your butt out of stuff. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's just huge, man.
Yeah.
So good. So in the weeks ahead, let's take a slight shift here, and we'll talk about some of the topics, some of the people we're going to interview.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What are going to be some of the group discussions, the people that we'll have on here? We don't have to say their names, but what are the topic subjects that we'll be discussing? I know one that I'm looking forward to having is having formerly incarcerated person on here talking about the challenges of being a dad post-incarceration. Being a dad on the inside is totally different than coming home and being a dad. And knowing how to navigate that whole experience either can be, the experience can be Christ-like or the experience can be a total tragedy, which could end up having different consequences attached to it. You know what I mean?
I like
getting
that.
involved with the courts and it just, it could turn haywire. What are some of the ones that you're looking forward to, topics and subjects, Storm, that we're going to be discussing?
It's going to be real first and foremost. Okay. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it.
That's good.
Let's be authentic. And I think we're going to deal with things that a lot of parents that I work with go through. You know, I'm working with a dad who will come up here who is a father who is biologically a father, but he is nowhere in his child's life right now. So we're going to have that discussion so parents can see. You know, I know a lot of single parents who know where the other parent is, and some of them are within a block of each other, and the other parent is just not engaged or not involved right now. So we're going to have that discussion of what keeps you away from your child. What are those things that has hindered your relationship, and what keeps you away to this day? We're also going to have another parent come in who's a single father who's doing it by himself. Since the age, his son was about 1.5. They were co-parenting healthily, and then the other parent to step out. Mom has left, and dad is doing it by himself now. The child is now 6, and dad is doing a really good job. So we're going to talk about single fathers. We're going to talk a lot about navigating the court systems. We have a member from our local friend of the court who will come up here and talk about what that's like for dads to navigate through the court system, that child support conversation that we hear, things of that. I mean, there's so many things that happen in the courthouse that are so important that we know. I know the courthouse can be intimidating, but we have to be knowledgeable of those laws and things that we can do to be better parents. It makes you a better parent. One simple thing is when you have, joint custody, the best thing is that the other parent can only move a certain amount of miles away from you when you have joint custody. So things like that. So we want to make sure that we're informing our parents. We're having real conversation. I have another guy who was incarcerated for 25 years and his struggles of being a parent. But you can still be a parent while you're incarcerated. So
no doubt.
I want to give those stories of hope. I want to have those real conversations. I want to talk about the roses and thorns of fatherhood. It ain't all easy. There's some days you want to give up. Man, maybe they better off with just mama. Being real. I've been there. It's rough. It's real.
There's celebrations and challenges.
You take the full pie, right?
That's right.
So we're going to have real conversations. So I'm looking forward to the real and authentic and hearing people's stories. That's so important to me. I think if God puts you through something, trials and tribulations, it is your duty to share those with people who are going through what you have went through or what you're still going through. I mean, the only way to get through it is to talk about it and to have that real open conversation in a safe space so we can get through things like that.
So good. I love it. Dre?
That's good. I'm looking forward to talking about blended families.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
I raised 2 children that wasn't mine, so I'm in it. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to having that type of conversation. Another thing is how can we get better as fathers?
Yeah.
I think that's huge. I think we can never really, you know what I'm saying, peak as a father. You know, just what are some ways that we're getting better? What are some things that we're doing to get better? So those are just a couple things that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
That I'm really looking forward to. So yeah.
So good. Good deal. Hey, Facebook, thanks for tuning in. We want to keep you up with this now. This is not only going to be a Facebook Live situation. We're also going to be having this available on podcasts. And we'll be posting the links up, and you'll be able to, hopefully soon, be able to download the podcast and be able to listen to this while you're in the car, out for a walk, and have a discussion. We'd love to hear your comments. So if you could put comments in in the comment section below, send them to us. We'd love to interact with you here on Facebook, and we'll keep you posted with how things go. And
that Dad Movement page. That's so important.
Yes, and please check out the Dad Movement Facebook page. Like it, share it, invite your friends to be a part of it, and we'll keep everyone updated through that media line right there and keep you posted on everything that we're doing. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dre, Norm.
Hey,
thanks for the partnership.
Thank you,
we
man.
appreciate it.
For it, man.
And Jason Johnson, Smooth. We're going to keep it happening.
And my man Luke is holding us down, too.
You know it.
We
See y'all. Peace.
All right,
love y'all.